guys, and welcome back to MrMFretwell Plays Minecraft. And in today's episode, we are going to be, hopefully, working on a chicken farm. So, I've kind of already started to prepare supplies and clear out a room and that kind of thing today. And we're going to get started here really quick. I'm just running around and gathering up a few supplies. Want some glass. Want to see how we're doing on hoppers. So, I guess while we do that, I will talk a little bit more about the chicken farm, why I'm building one, that kind of thing. So, the chicken farm is something that I've wanted to build for a long time. We're going to use a chicken cooker design. And I'm just kind of making it up as I go along, really. I don't have any pre-built designs or tutorials to follow, that kind of thing. I want to have a go myself, take a crack at it. See what we got up in here. Some levers might be useful. I don't think I'm going to need any of this stuff. So, there is a few things specifically that I do want though. And that is to have an option to collect eggs. And by the way, if you're not entirely sure on the way that a chicken cooker would work, it basically uses certain mechanics with half slabs and so on to cook chickens and then collect their drops through hoppers. You have an egg dispenser, that kind of thing. Speaking of which, a dispenser, we do need one of those. Do I have one? I do not. So I'm going to need a bow. So I'm going to need some string for that to make a bow. And let me see here, what do we got on this? Anything useful? Not really. We want some slabs. I'll probably do for that. I'll do some decorative work later, I guess. I just kind of want to get the concept together first. So I want to have an egg collection option so that I can send eggs to the storage system if I don't want to use them. Speaking of eggs, we're going to need all of those. I also want a send to storage system option here for feathers and for cooked chicken, because it cooks it automatically for us. I was looking for something here. Oh, right, yeah, string. So we need some string. I believe I have some sticks in here. I do indeed. Might need a little bit more food here shortly. I may have to go and get some food. Do I have any carrots that I could pick up? Or maybe any potatoes that have been cooked up, that kind of thing? Doesn't look like it, but I do have some carrots, so we could probably live off of those for a while. So, I think we've got most of the basic things we will need. I do need to pick up a workbench still, and probably a chest or two. Hey there, buddy. So, I believe... Do I not have any workbenches left? Okay. Do I have any chests over here? That would be useful to know. I do. Good. So, we're going to build the chicken farm up here in a new area, because we're kind of working on a new project with a different theme to what we've been working on lately. So I've carved out a little room here. Let us throw down a chest. Put the eggs away. This is some of the cobblestone I had left behind while clearing it out. Some redstone there. I am going to need some smooth stone to build some redstone components, that's for sure. I've never built one of these before, so it may be a case of having to bear with me for a while I figure some of the things out. So we still do need some smooth stone, and we still need a workbench, but I could make one of those out of this wood here. So we just need a little bit of smooth stone, I believe, now, and then we'll be good to go. And smooth stone is just over here, so I'm not going to cut that out. And while I build this chicken farm, depending on how difficult it is and how much I have to focus, here we go, I may talk about a topic that I want to talk about, but we'll see. I just want to kind of get things started for now. So I think we've got all the supplies we need. Oh, you know what? We don't have any carpets. Dang it. I do need some carpets. I don't know if I have any wool, honestly. I don't think I have much, if I were to guess. This took a lot longer than intended, just to run around and get supplies. I was actually hoping that it would be a lot shorter than this, so I apologise for that. wool. Okay, I have some wool. I'll need some carpets. I'll explain what they're for in a minute. So, let's head up here. We're gonna go back to where we were at, and then we're gonna start work on building it. So I kind of want to start off here with where the collection area is gonna be. This is gonna be a door. So I'm thinking we're probably gonna wanna, because it's only one wide, we're gonna make it odd, the room shape, I think. That there is the middle. There's 3 either side if we were to fill in this wall. That's the middle. Now what we have to decide is whether I want to build it that way or build it this way. How much room have we got this way? Basically none. So I guess that kind of answers that question. Silly slime coming all the way up here. Whoops. So, with that being the case, how do I want to do this? I kind of want a chest in the floor, right here. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's get a double chest. Tear this down a little bit. I'm going to need a few hoppers. That's convenient. This, however, is not so convenient. Can I not place that there? Why is that? Is there a torch? Ah, okay. I'm going to fill this in, as this is probably just going to get in the way more than anything. So I want a couple hoppers like that, I think. Let's fill this in. And I do know I'm going to need the half slab and that dispenser. So let's go ahead and make the dispenser now. So where do I want to put this dispenser? If I put it there, then I'm going to want the half slab on it, on top of that hopper like that. Then I'm going to have a little bit of room to kind of make things look reasonably nice in here. And this may get tweaked a little bit. I'm not 100% sure yet as to whether I've got everything right or not. I don't recall it being like that in my little design that I put together. I could save a hopper by doing it that way anyway, so if I did that and then put the dispenser there and then, whoops, that's not the right block. I put that there. Oh, is it because I'm going to see that? I guess so. So we had it right before, which is okay. It's not too long to replace. Pick up all this stuff. I see what I did there. Okay. So we want the dispenser, then we want this hopper here, and then that, and then the slab, so that I can kind of put some decoration on the front here eventually. I'm going to want some stone bricks, because I need to set up a comparator clock back here. I don't have any nether quartz to do that, do I? Darn. Well, we can get the initial circuit up and going at the very least here before I go collect some quartz. So in order to do this, there is water here, so I'm going to have to be careful of that. We're going to need a comparator, and then a repeater, and then that's going to loop back into itself. And then we need something, whoops, a little bit like that, I believe. So that would loop back into itself like that, and then we would break this and bring that back into there. And that will be our clock. And all this clock does is just shoot eggs whenever they land in the hoppers, which are going to be up above here. We're going to have a set of batch chickens, which is what the eggs are for right now, to get some batch chickens going. So I do need to get that comparator, so I'm going to have to run and get some nether quartz. I want to clear some of this area out though first, before I do that. I'm going to have to be very careful about that. That's what I wanted to avoid, because it's going to knock out all my torches, all the way down here. It's going to be a real pain. I guess not so bad. It's really frustrating when there's so much water around. I picked one of the worst spots for having water all around my redstone contraptions. Always seems to be everywhere. We had it over by the cocoa bean farm too. That does worry me though, that I'm not going to have as much room as I would like to build vertically. We are at Y56, so I'm going to have to kind of compress things here a little bit more than I wanted to. Oops. So we've got a little bit of room here now. I can fill that in, I guess. And I'm going to go ahead and grab that nether quartz. So let's run down and get it. It's right over here. And the next thing to do is going to be to work on setting up that area for the batch chickens. Actually, I'll bring a bunch of quartz. That's probably a better idea than just bringing one. Because I might need more comparators later. I'm not sure. And let's go ahead and whip up this comparator really quick. I don't have any smooth stone right now, so let me pick that up. Sent a little dark there for a second. And we can make that. There we go. I'm also going to need some more redstone torches anyway, and I do need to make a redstone repeater as well. Let's go ahead and do that. Put that down and that. So now what should happen is if I put an egg in there, it would activate that clock. So now what we need to do is actually work on setting up the batch chicken part, as I said. And I'm going to need to make a few hoppers for that. I'm going to go ahead and just get a stack of, well, we're going to do that, I guess, and turn it all into planks. I'm going to get 8 chests here. I was going to make a stack of wood and make 8 chests in the end. I think I'm going to need a little bit more iron than that to make all these hoppers here. There we go. So we're definitely going to want a hopper there, and that will feed in. I kind of want a chest above it, but I'm going to have to be careful again of room that I have to do this with. I'm going to go ahead now and fill in this so that that doesn't spill out all down there again. And I'm possibly going to go ahead and fill that in too. There we go. This, though, I believe is below the river. Well, it works. Can't complain about that. Is this a river or is this just a pond? No, it's the river. Okay. That could be quite an extensive problem here because I've still got to go quite a ways up. I could probably fit it in all of that. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to just extend this by a few blocks if I can. Take a breath of air. Fill that in. And come back down again. That might help a little bit. So at least I can clear that out. And over here. I wonder, what way was it? I think that way goes back towards land. So I think what it might be a good idea to do is... Can I clear that? I can. Okay. I'm going to make a chest. Because I wanted to have a chest in the design anyway. And I'm going to have a hopper leading out of that chest. Let's break this. That looks a little bit ugly doing it there, so I may have to go up above it like this and then back. Do I want to lower the ceiling? I guess we're going to have to, aren't we, being honest? Unless I wanted to go one higher. And then I'll have my batch chickens above us in the ceiling. Might be cool to have like a glass viewing area. Kind of see below the chickens. I don't know how I would 100% feel about that though. I'm actually going to need that dirt to build a staircase with to get up here. But I know that if I go away from the river, it's going to give me a little bit of an easier time. This is gravel right here. I'm going to have to go up there and manually fix that in a moment. I don't know if this is necessarily any better, to be honest. What is this? Oh, it's like a gravel beach thing. Yeah, this could be just as bad, honestly, as water. Particularly with this amount. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go and do the ceiling thing, unfortunately. Okay, so that's pointing into there. This is a really awkward spot to build this. I'm gonna have to do that and then drag it back a little bit. Probably to there, maybe. I hit dirt again here. And then a cave. Okay. I do recall this cave. This is a water pond that's near the cabin that I cleared out for this project. Yes, I could repurpose in here to be the batch chicken zone. I just don't want to use a lot of hoppers in the process, really. So I guess there is fine. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of terraforming again on the surface before we're done. There we go. So now I can actually get to work on building my little batch chicken area. So now that we're working on this, I think it's probably a good time to start talking about that topic that I wanted to bring up, and that was the topic of Minecraft 1.8. So Minecraft 1.8 was released today. I'm really excited to get playing that soon, once we're done here on 1.7. I'm not going to break any more of that. So I wanted to kind of explain a little bit more, because I don't think I did a perfect job last time I talked about it, as to what I'm actually going to be doing between now and 1.8. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be finishing everything else off here first. We're going to take our time and we're going to do that. There's not too much left, honestly. Probably another 5 or 6 projects total to finish off here. And then we're going to go ahead and build a portal in the nether. And we're going to go... Well, we're going to go to the nether first, go far away, and then build another portal and come out somewhere else. And then we're going to start and think about what we want to do there. And that, for a while, will probably be just exploring and seeing what the changes have been before we settle down somewhere and start building a base. Take a sip of tea there. And as I say, I don't have a huge clue as what it is I want to do yet. There's a lot of things that have been added or changed, and I have deliberately been avoiding spoilers, as I mentioned before, because I didn't want to spoil it for myself. I really wanted to get that feeling of mystery back in the update, and I definitely think I've done that. So I'm really looking forward to not necessarily knowing absolutely everything about what's going on. And that may be a little bit frustrating for some people, and they can kind of play snapshots, and that's fine. I can understand that. But for me, I just really missed the magic of not knowing what was in an update when it came out. So having that again is going to be a really nice feeling, I hope. So we're going to need another 5 hoppers for that. Before we're done here, we're going to need a hopper there. Wait, no, not there. Going to need another row of hoppers here. So that's 5. And then 2 rows over here. Because we're going to do a 5x5. And that's just to stop the chickens from glitching. Because they have a tendency to glitch out. So, I'm greatly looking forward to finding out what some of the changes have been. I do hear that it is a survivally type update, and again, don't spoil it for me in the comments. I really want to have that discovery time. There's been a lot of stuff added in survival mode, from what I hear, which is exciting because I am a survivalist player. I have a lot of fun playing survival mode. It's been probably a mainstay for me since I started my YouTube channel at the very least. I mean, I've dabbled in other things, and I enjoy other things too, aside from survival. I enjoy creative and the other game modes, mini games, and that kind of thing. They're cool in their own right, but for me, survival is where it all began, and it's something that I'm really excited about having again on my channel. Proper survival. Like, at the moment in our LP world here, it is survival mode, but I have everything now. It's a case of, okay, I have everything, so let's just build, you know, and let's make cool contraptions like we're doing now. I really want to go back to proper survival again, where things are, I wouldn't say dangerous per se, but things are a lot more simple, I guess is probably the word to think about. I'm probably not going to be building giant redstone contraptions, for example. I'm probably going to be more focusing on my immediate survival needs, that kind of thing. Oops. And that for me is really, really exciting, as it's been a long time since I did any proper survival. I don't really play anything outside of our video worlds here because I just simply don't have the time. I certainly don't play any single player when I'm not recording, unless it's like off-camera work on here or on another world, for example. I don't play really much of anything else. So this is the only free time I have to really enjoy survival Minecraft, so it's going to be a lot of fun, I feel, to be able to experience the new features, but also experience that survival feeling again. I kind of want to go for a fresh start approach, to kind of not necessarily combat the having everything, but for a different type of challenge that we've not had in a long time. Because really, ever since I got geared up at the, as it was then, the FretFort, I've not really felt in danger or felt challenged, because that was not what I wanted to go for at that point. What I wanted to do at that point in time was build a cool base, and a big epic base, like I have at the lab here. I'm not going to say my base is epic, that's the wrong wrong choice of words, that's very pompous. But I wanted to build a huge, very technical base back when I started this base, which is going to be in around a month or two's time. About a year ago, we moved to the lab in November 2013. We're now in September 2014. How time flies. Have I used all my wood? Oops. I'm going to have to go get some more wood. So, I've not played that type of Minecraft, really, in a vanilla setting since that day, you know, when we moved here. The last proper survival I probably played was way back when we were on that little island, as it was then. And when we did that abandoned mineshaft stuff, which seems like such a long time ago now. It's kind of scary in a way that it's been that long since we actually did any survival stuff. Proper survival, that is. I mean, I guess this technically is proper survival. It's just not survival as many would view it, and myself included, you know. Survival for me, when I talk about it in that context, is all about fighting mobs, for example, and surviving, you know, doing lots of caving, doing lots of exploring, that type of thing, over building a base and doing a lot of redstone stuff. Right, I needed more wood, that was right. So I'm greatly looking forward to having sort of the new and old come together for 1.8 and with my ideas. And that's kind of the only idea I have at the moment. I don't have like a base idea. Like, when I first moved to what eventually became the lab, I wasn't sure what to do with it at that point in time. It was only after a little bit of time when we got geared up that I actually decided on what I wanted to do. And I did that episode with the master plan. I think that was around episode 83, I think, was the master plan. And that's when I really outlined my vision for what I wanted to do with this base. I don't really have an idea yet for what I want to do in 1.8. often I get inspired by terrain, or I can see a certain building in a biome, that kind of thing, and it's something I really want to work on. I mean, I do have lots of ideas. It's not like I'm running out of ideas, but it's finding the appropriate time and place to do such an idea. And there are also other challenges and sort of quests, I guess, in the world that we have not yet done, that I would like to try my hand at some point. And I think some of them you guys are really going to like. But we'll have to see how that goes. So that's kind of my immediate plans. I want to finish off things I had planned here. And to kind of answer some people's questions, the goal of this base was not to farm everything. That was not the goal of this base. The goal of this base was to create a redstone themed base that contained various farms and devices which were useful. That was the aim. And that has not changed. That's why certain types of farms don't exist at this base. For example, cobblestone generator. I have an entire room full of cobblestone and chests, so I don't need any more. Making all racket out there, guys. I need some glass, so I may only have a small window of glass as opposed to a large one. It's going to open up to the sky, isn't it? Can I cover that in for a sec? There we go. So, there's not going to be absolutely everything farmed here. That was never the objective. There are some farms, like the one we're working on today, that I wanted to build because it's useful. For example, a chicken farm gives me a lot of feathers, gives me chicken meat, so it is actually a useful farm. But for example, an obsidian generator, not really that useful, so that's why I didn't build one of those. I do still want to build some other animal farms. That's probably the main thing to do. The only real crop that we have left to farm is melons and pumpkins, which we'll probably do in a few episodes' time. What am I doing here? I need some chickens, and then the eggs will flow down here. They'll go into that. So the next thing we need to do then is kind of close in this area, I guess. What's kind of going on for a minute here, and I'm not really making it clear what it is I'm doing. So the chickens will hatch on that. There's going to be a lava bucket in there, which I don't have yet. So that means that glass is going to go there, probably there too. I do know that chickens can glitch out, so I might try doing this to stop them dying, but I'm just worried about them escaping. That's the other problem I'm worried about. I don't know if that's the right thing to do, honestly, the more and more I look at it. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to replace that when I get my silk touch. I needed to go for something else too. Lava bucket, that was right. Although lava, ooh, that's quite a ways away. That's down in the branch mines. I could just come through here and pick up my silk touch. There it is. So I'll probably go get that off camera because that is quite a journey. And set that up. Let me see. There we go. We'll put stone bricks back here, I think. That'd be the better idea. And nothing should be able to leak out of there. Hoppers don't catch fire, so that shouldn't be a problem. I'm gonna have to punch through the wall here, though, so that I can get back in the room. That was my staircase. Now, no longer. But I don't fear, because I have a new staircase. This is really, really difficult to maneuver around this. Okay, so now what I need to do is cover in this, if I can, a little bit. One high? No thanks, I want it to be a bit higher than that. I'm gonna make it 3 high, I think. And then we'll have a an airspace of 2. Just so I can see that over here. This will fill that in. There we go. once the chicken farm is done here, probably... What else is left to do? We have... I still want to farm cows, because we don't really have a good cow farm yet. I might farm pigs. I'm not sure about pigs, because... Being as we have a cow farm, I think that's as good as we're going to need, to be honest, as far as food production goes, along with this. I do want to build a sheep farm, so I can get lots and lots of coloured wool. Might be handy at some point or another. I do want to make a melon and pumpkin farm, as I've said. I want to finish that area around the branch mines. I want to finish the area up here. Surface, kind of properly finish that. But aside from that, I think that's pretty much all the projects I have left. There might be one or two other things that I want to do at some point. Oh, I do want to build an automatic brewery now that I think about it. I'm going to go ahead and fix this redstone now. Seems like we're done with the water for a while. Or is it getting rid of everything? Well, at least I know it's working good. There we go, I can pick all of that up. And I'm going to put this stuff away and get these eggs. Get back up my staircase. Let's see. How do I want to do it? Probably going to have a stone brick that falls in there. Got one on the first go. I don't believe eggs do any damage, so I'm just going to keep throwing them. So this is going to use up all my eggs, but they will start and lay them. Once they've grown up, that is. It'll take a little bit of time to get going, of course. And I may install some sort of entrance so that I can breed them a few times. To really get a decent supply of chickens. And they're probably going to take around 10 minutes or so to grow up and then start laying eggs. So while I do that, I can go get a lava bucket. Get that in place. So really, I don't have too many projects left to go before we are done. As I say, I don't want to rush it before we end off here. I want to give it the end it deserves. We put a lot of time and effort into this base while we've been working on it these past 8-9 months. So I really do want to finish it out the way I started it and really make it seem really nice and complete. And have a lot of fun while we're still here. There's a lot still to do, but a lot still to enjoy at the same time. So what I would like to do now is kind of finish up here. I do want to get that lava bucket. That's definitely the next thing to do. Kind of want to finish up the walls and stuff in here. I still do need to set up a door. I didn't really think about that, did I, as I built it, because the door's going to take up so much room. That said, though, I could just bring out a wall there. That would be where the wall is. If you're thinking about a door, the door would go in the middle here with the pistons, and I could make it one wide. So that's probably not going to be such a problem. I might even thin it down to just this and have a little thin corridor. That might work nicely. I don't know what I want to do sort of decoratively yet. I kind of want to use a flavour of stained clay for the floor. Let's just kind of build this up a little bit here. Nor do I know what colours of stained clay I would like to use for the actual thing itself. I just use stone bricks for the time being so I could get it up and running. Maybe going off of the chicken, maybe having a white floor and then maybe red walls, possibly. I don't know how that would necessarily look. I mean, the main color of a chicken is white. Let's actually go ahead and go back up there and take a look at the chicks and see if we can sort of base it off of a chicken for this room. That would make sense, I think. At least to me. Can I take a look at them? There's a gravel there. They're mainly white. They have the yellow beak, so I might be able to do white and yellow. Seems a little bit iffy. Red and white, maybe. Maybe a red floor, white walls, possibly. They don't really have any other colours to them, though. So it's probably kind of difficult. I'm going to probably get some different colours and experiment. Red and yellow is definitely not a good idea. I can already see that clashing. So I don't really know that that's a good idea. Let me see. Let's head downstairs. This is not the way downstairs. I'm actually going to take another drink of tea before it goes cold. Helps keep me talking. So let's head down here. Looks like we've got residents taking up our storage room as a home now. Here we go. Light grey. So we have some red. Bring some red. I'll bring some white. Do we have any yellow? We have a little bit. I don't really think any of these other colours are too useful. So let's see. Let's head up here. Away from those slimes. Have a bit of peace and quiet. So what did we say we were going to do? White floor, red walls. It doesn't look as bad as I thought it would, but the only thing that worries me is what it would look like in large volumes together. Let's try, see if I did this. It reminds me of McDonald's. I guess it must be the colours. I don't know. But that doesn't look as bad as I thought it was going to do either. I kind of like the yellow for the floor. I'm just worried it's going to be a bit too strong and in your face when you sort of walk in here. I don't really want that. But you know what? I kind of, in a weird way, like that. I don't know what else I could really do color-wise here. I definitely think using red for the walls is the way to go. So I'm gonna replace this now. So I'm not changing that. I don't think a chest will burn by lava. Though I'm not 100% positive on that. Yeah, the red for the walls is definitely the way to go. Let's start and replace some of that with red clay here. Is there anything on top of that? I guess not. Yeah, the red I quite like. Let's just try and sort of do a wall this side too. Maybe make it a little bit higher too. The roof would come across here because we have the hoppers up one block higher. The yellow may be in fact the very weird way to go, but it could work. It kind of reminds me of a fast food restaurant. That sort of yellow and red colour. I guess that's why I thought of McDonald's when I first saw it. Maybe that's not such a bad thing. I mean, we are getting fried chicken after all. So, or is it roast chicken? I don't know. I don't really pay too much attention to the way that the food is produced in this game. So I think red and yellow is what we're going to go for, at least for now, unless I really don't like it. Then we might change it. So I'm definitely going to need to make some more yellow. I don't have more than that 5 currently left. I'm also going to have to do a little bit of decorative work back there to just kind of cover up all that dirt and so on. And I still need to set up the door, of course, but I think that now we've got the basic machine going here. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get that lava bucket and get some more clay together. And then I will be back and we'll probably have pretty much a working farm by that point. I'll probably let the chickens grow up and we can see it in action. So I'm going to be right back, guys. Okay, so work is progressing nicely. The farm is working. We've got the chicks in there kind of building up, ready to die when they grow up so that I can get the food. And I've kind of sort of wrapped up the decoration in here. I've added these. I actually forgot about these, but they were just small redstone little enhancements here. So we have a usual send to the storage system button here, I guess, or lever. And if it's up as it is now, the answer is no, it stays in this chest. And if I flick it down, then it will go to the storage system. I think somebody just died. Didn't get the loot though. Or did it go to the hopper? We'll see. Nope. So hopefully we'll have 1 or 2 more growing up soon. Egg collection, and this just determines whether I want to collect eggs. If I flick this down, then I can go through and collect eggs after a while, instead of them being shut out the dispenser. It also disables the dispenser, just in case there was something go wrong with the hopper. I don't know, just a bonus side effect, I guess. There are times where these guys will not drop their loot. Sometimes it just gets burned up, but it's a pretty rare occasion, it has to be said. So, hopefully soon we'll start to see these chicks grow up and start to see a profit. So what I do need to do is I kind of want to add some redstone lamps around the place to try and brighten it up a little bit, as it's pretty dim in here. We are limited though as to where we can put them. Possibly, I don't know, it would kind of look a bit weird just having one on the floor like that. We possibly could do one there. Just want to make sure everything's bright enough in here. What about over here now? We've got lava lighting up this end of the room, so I think we're good with that. So they're all clearly labelled. Everything's looking in pretty good shape now. The only thing I have left to do is actually do the integration part. I have to make a bunch of hoppers and tie it in to the storage system. Right now it's just one hopper here, but eventually I will extend that and it will actually link up to the storage room. I'm actually going to get on with that shortly, but that's a very long and tedious process, and I will do that off camera, and I'll probably show you next episode, or maybe an episode or 2 after that when I get around to it actually working. It's just a very minor thing anyway. Because generally if I'm going to go AFK at this farm, I'm going to sit here by the chest for its loot. So I'll be just setting up an item filter down there so that I can separate out feathers and chicken and basically make use of the drops that these guys have in the storage room. And probably once I've kind of got the initial completion phase out of the way, I might start and use chicken as a more permanent food source. So having it go straight to the storage room may be more beneficial than having to come up here all the time, as I'm more often than not in the storage room. I do need to go up there and breed the chickens a couple more times. It's still not really enough yet to make full advantage of that room that we built, the 5x5. Here we go. Dropped a feather. That's it on this occasion. I think his chicken meat burned up, but we've got our first feather. That's not bad. Obviously we're going to lose some here and there, but the idea is just to have a chicken farm that's fully automatic, and if I go AFK at this thing overnight, we're probably going to get lots of feathers and chicken and basically everything we could ever want out of it. So I'm pretty happy with that. We do need to do some decorative work around the corridor here, but I'm not going to start and do that really until I've probably built 1 or 2 more farms for the other animals before I really finalize this area. But we're looking pretty good now. We're in good shape, I feel. I hope you've enjoyed today's episode, guys. I've had a lot of fun building this and talking about 1.8 with you. Another feather. And I hope to see you next time. So until then, see you later, and have a good day.